activity, because when you think about it, in things such as a beautiful day in nature, or a nice hike, or an afternoon with your friends at the beach, activities of this nature, time spent in this way is time that really feels fulfilling. And these are days that by the end of them, if let's say death was to knock on your door for any, unfortunate reason, you would not want to have done anything else. You'd not be regretting spending your time in this way and that you should have been working more and doing more of this or whatever. No, you would be like, well, it's unfortunate, but that was a good last day. With that last day, I feel good. And on the opposite side of that, if you were to have spent that day just grinding away, just focusing on making more money, to buy more things, to in these games that we play a lot nowadays of wealth, of fame, of status, whatever it may be, you would regret it. You would be like, ah, that's it. Man, I wish I would have been at the beach with my friends or my family or my partner. You really wouldn't have, you wouldn't be thinking to do more of these activities that have another end in mind. Now, I don't say this to say that all your life needs to be a vacation to be enjoyed, or that working is bad, or that making money is bad. Not at all. But it's to highlight the fact that the more one spends in activities that have another end in mind besides themselves, is really, the more you spend on this, the more miserable you're going to be. And I'm just going to put it as it is. Because doing something with another end in mind other than what you're doing, so let's say if someone works and likes their work and finds fulfillment in that, that is different than someone that hates their job and is just grinding to buy a new car or a new house or to retire 20 years from now. If you are the latter here, the more you do that, the more you're going to realize that the more of the amount of time that you spend awake does not feel good. Because essentially, fundamentally, you are looking for a point in the future when you don't have to do it anymore. You're looking for a point in the future where, after all the effort is done and all of it is completed, you can kind of kick back, relax, and be like, now I can enjoy. And let me ask you, what would you then do? What does enjoyment actually mean? Yeah, it is all the things we talked about and the relaxation, the enjoyment with family, with friends, with whatever. But after a while, after that gets boring, you will crave something else. And what would that else be? Will it be a new car, a new house? Well, only if you're not being honest. Because if you're being honest with yourself, and now, assuming this point even exists, that now you wouldn't have to do anything for money anymore, what you would want to do is honest work. Would be to create things that are not driven out of a desire for fame or money or any of this. It would be things that are more true, that are pure, that actually cause a positive impact in those that interact with it. And for him who creates, you actually allow you to express yourself correctly, that allow you to get lost in the process, that don't make you just count the time until it is done. No, they make you look forward to doing it. And in this manner, we think about just how ridiculous it is the way we're living. Because, yeah, you can tell me that I need to work, I need a job, and of course you do. We all, there's bills to be paid, we have to survive, we have to be responsible, of course. But if most of your time is being spent on that, looking forward to a time in the future that you don't have to do it anymore, then you're just lying to yourself. You're tricking yourself. Number one, because maybe that point will never arrive. And that's, I think, the number one concern one should have. Because if you're waiting until even if it's an early retirement, who says you're going to get there? Who says you're going to get there with the same energy, the same ideas, with just how much are you sacrificing right now, hoping for this time in the future, but then how much are you really losing waiting for that time? That is number one. The second part of this is that, and this is the harshest, however you say, truth to accept, and take it from someone, even though I think I'm relatively young in the general context of things, but take it from someone that has had relatively ambitious goals and then got there. What one will realize, especially if you're waiting for them to for them to fulfill you, what you realize is that they don't fulfill you. Quite the opposite. They make you feel more empty. And they do so because they essentially shine a light, a very bright one, on the void that you have inside. That one could compare here to really a black hole. that no matter how much you throw at it, money, fame, cars, material, whatever, it will never be fulfilled because you cannot fulfill an infinite desire with finite material things. It is simply impossible. Now, what one realizes when they get to that point, no matter how young or old, is that really there are two options here when confronted with this disappointment. One of them is to really reconsider what you're doing, how you're spending your day, what really is the point of the of effort of life, of really consider these things. And hopefully by the end of it, or not the end because there's really no end, but at the end of some sort of conclusion, you live in a better way, a way that is more in aligned with fulfilling this moment in the present and making sure that you are doing things correctly and not just for yourself and everything we talked about. The other side of this is one that assumes that this summit that you've reached was just not enough. It just wasn't high enough. And because it wasn't high enough, what you're going to do is keep climbing. And you're going to be like, $1 million was not enough. I need 10 million. And then you get to 10 million and you repeat this. And a Porsche was not enough. I need a Ferrari. A Ferrari was not enough. I need a boat. And then I need a private jet and this and that. And you keep going this route. And one that keeps going down this route is one that will corrupt himself. And I do mean corrupt, because this is a path where the more you walk it, the more the end justifies the means. And the more that happens, the more you're going to find yourself cutting corners and screwing people over and thinking you're above the law and above moral codes. And and if you don't believe me, just look at all the people that have done that. For the most part, look at any billionaire, look at any big company and who's running them, and then just go through their track record. What you're going to find is that it is not a pretty one. And it is one that's very tainted and very flawed. And we all are. Of course, no one is perfect. And, if we're to be judged by a perfect moral standard, we're all corrupted. But there's levels to it. And there's, after a certain point, you don't really have excuses anymore because it's like you're aware of what you're doing. But all of this to say that it is a fundamental problem of being after the wrong thing. And that is what, if you haven't realized it yet, I would hope my words be enough, but often it's not. And often, if you are on a very ambitious path and you are after these things, then you're going to have to go through it. So if that is you, I just hope that when you get there and when you feel what I felt and what a lot of people felt, that you just feel more empty than you've ever been in your whole life, that at that point you recognize that it is not more that you need. And that you actually take a second and recognize. And here's where I get to kind of my main point is that, because we have been told a lot that, and you've heard this, that, life's not a sprint, it's a marathon. But that is fundamentally wrong, because both a sprint and a marathon are both races. And what a race implies is that you're trying to get to the finish line, no matter how far that is, if it's 100 meters or 20 kilometers, to get there as fast as possible. And not to enjoy the process that much. It's not about enjoying the process, it's about winning the race. That's what a race implies. It is about a better time, beating those around you, winning. That is what a race is about. And in the context of an actual race, there's no problem with that. It's a sport, it's fun, you improve, get in better shape, phenomenal. But when applied to life, it is not good. Because when you're in a race, it doesn't matter how long it is. It doesn't matter if it's the race that you're almost at a walking pace. You're not going to be enjoying what's around you. You're going to be looking forward toward the end of it. And it is essentially the same thing. It's sacrificing the now for the future. Now, I understand this is a lot of times said in the context of getting results, but I think life, we have to encompass all of it in life. We can just talk about financial results separately and then about fulfillment separately. It's like when you go to the gym, you can try to isolate muscles, but to a certain extent, you can't fully isolate anything. The body doesn't work in isolation. Well, life also doesn't work in isolation. And when we look at it, as I see it, it is not that life is a sprint or a marathon. It is much more that it is a hike, a beautiful one with friends. And when you're doing such a thing, when you're hiking with friends in a beautiful place, you are not wanting to get to the end as fast as possible, much less to just be able to be helicoptered there. And not at all. That would beat the purpose, because the purpose of hiking is to hike. And so there are moments that are easier, moments that are more difficult. better views, worse views. Perhaps it rains a bit, then the sun comes out again. Then you take a little bit of a break. You chat, you have a meal, you continue. And in that manner, to reach the top is as pleasant as all the rest. It is all an encompassing experience that you would not have skipped any part of it. And this to me is really how we have to look at things. Because in a world that keeps, in my opinion, getting more and more corrupted in the ways that the things that we're after. It's looks maxing is becoming a popular thing. People are more and more depressed, less and less fulfilled. Plastic surgery demand keeps increasing. Pornography usage keeps increasing. Social media usage keeps increasing. Happiness keeps going down. And what we look at it is because all of these have a how do you call it, a common problem that is among all of these issues that we have nowadays, modern society is common, and that is that they all promise to fulfill you, but they can only distract you. And that is why we go back to the initial quote, and I feel like I'm getting a bit all over the place here, like almost like a Kanye rant, but I hope I can tie it all together. If we go back to the beginning and we look at the quote, a love of nature keeps no factories busy, and we can almost translate this too. When you focus on the right things in life, you have no time to play the wrong games. You have no time to be wasting about in the factory, in doing this bullshit things, because you realize the best things, the fulfilling things, the ones that matter, they're available to me right now. Because it's not about having money, it's about how you make the money. It's about what you do. It's not about finishing the race, it's about the race itself, about the hike itself, about the walking itself. And so, in this manner, the more you focus on this, the more disgusting these modern games are going to be to you. When you look about things like gambling, sign up and get 100 free spins, or all-inclusive trip to Turkey to get your hair transplant, or make 10K in 3 months, and just whatever those things may be, they become disgusting because that's not what life is about. Life's about realness. And in this manner, as I think about it, and I hope you think in the same way, is that I don't want to reach the end of life in a perfect body, tanned, with a perfect airline, with no wrinkles. No, I want the opposite. I want to be worn out, to have wrinkles on my face, to be bald, to have my sun damaged from the sun if that's what it takes, to have injuries because of the things that I've done, to to have life lived. And so in this manner, do not give me what is fake. Do not let's not play these games. Let's do what is real. Because beyond the money, beyond the fame, beyond all these things that I hope you realize at one point or another that they don't really matter that much, what we must realize is that life, true real life, is enough. Because if it wasn't, it wouldn't be.